Wow. I'm going to go look for Elizabeth. In the meantime, look at this. If the patrol car where officers Wenjin Liu and Rafael Ramos were brutally executed had the same technology as this car here, would they still be alive? Would that glass have kept them alive? Many believe the answer is yes. So that's why several New York lawmakers are proposing legislation that will require all police cars to have a bulletproof glass. But with all different technologies out there, what is the best option? What's the most affordable option? Kurt, the cyber guy, is here to break it down. Kurt, you got 3 examples for us. That's the thing that struck me when I heard about this news on Saturday. I actually thought the glass was bulletproof. It's not. Then they say cost too much. What can you tell us?
That's why we dug into this, and that's why I wanted to explain. The technology has changed dramatically for police cruisers and for arming virtually any vehicle. Now, this piece of glass right here would be, and we want to thank our friends at Madison Avenue Armor, and they're the ones, if you are super wealthy and you have a need for this sort of thing, or if you're putting together a SWAT vehicle, this is a B6 rating or 42 millimeter glass. It's really going to stop explosions and all sorts of stuff. This we don't need necessarily for every cruiser in New York City. But what would be reasonable, because this would be pretty costly to do it, it would also make the car weigh about 800 pounds more if you did the entire 360-degree thing. I want to talk to you about a polycarbonate that's coming together that even, there's a laminate in Brazil we maybe get a good idea from that DuPont put together. 40,000 taxi cabs there are currently using it. They put it over the existing glass of many of the vehicles, and then they go ahead and use a Kevlar panel inside the door of vehicles all throughout Brazil. It protects up against a 38 millimeter gun. It could have, but not guaranteed, could have made the difference in this particular case in Brooklyn with the 2 slain police officers. Now, the third option...
And this is it right now, right? That's
the
DuPont one.
This is the one.
Let me look at that. So do I have to remove the glass in the car, or do I put something over the glass in the car?
Well, this is about disassembling the door panel, and you do a laminate over the glass, or you use what they call Sentry glass. It's a glass that they make themselves that's made for buildings and now automobiles, has several applications to it. And then the Kevlar is that stuff that's like fiberglass. It's bulletproof, and it has a lower shelf life to it. But the one that's the real winner here, and the one that makes you go, wait a minute, now it makes sense to say that you should have protection like this in every police vehicle, period, is this next one I want to show you. It's a Rhino Pack, and they've developed an exclusive glass. This is a patented way you fire into the glass. It stops it on one side. It also is a lot thinner. It's a more intelligent glass. Now, if you're the officer inside a car and you need to return fire, this one-way glass now lets you pass the bullet out of the car and go for the target that's going after you.
So this is the third option that you bring to the table today, and you think it's going to be between $12,000 and $25,000 per cop car?
I was speaking with a company, and I said, look, what would it cost? So you got 8,200 cars in the city of New York, police cruisers. Let's say they did 1,000. He said, look, a one-off car is going to run you around $25,000 to do 360-degree protection. That's putting in a rear wall, replacing all of the glass with ballistic glass, and then also doing the forward panel and a little bit underneath. Well, that right there, if he said you go up to about 1,000 cars, we're bringing it down much lower to about $12,000.
Wow.
I said, look, we won't hold you to the figure, but let's just do the math on that. What's the budget for potholes in just one section of New York? This kind of glass would make all the difference. And it also is developed in kits that arrive, and 2 technicians can put this in a police cruiser in a matter of a day and be done with it and move on. It'll add 200 pounds weight to the car. It would protect them against virtually any gun that would come up against them on the streets, period.
You know what you do? You approach the Police Benevolent Association first, you get Pat Lynch, you tell him about this, and then he'll put the pressure on the city to do something like that. I would imagine people would put a little extra in their paycheck or take a little from their paycheck to make this happen, especially after this weekend. Kurt, thanks so much for doing the research.
Good to see you.
All right, great to see you.